GIP Farm has several plots which are distinct but often play a role with each other. This is 5 different approaches that I'm taking to grow food, beauty, and soil fertility. This is a rough schematic of the acre lot, including dormant plots. The currently active plots are listed 1 through 5. In order they are spaghetti plot, cage plot, Q plot, row plot, pasture plot. Each has a certain flavor, a unique role in the whole farm from which it shines. Some are more intensive than others, and some require an appropriate space in which to thrive. But these methods can be applied to most suburban neighborhoods, unless you live in the most uptight, draconian HOA. Working with a raised garden bed is the tried and true approach for households. The soil quality can be controlled by focusing on balancing the minerals in small batches. The quaint size means input costs are low compared to working on a vast area of dry, salty dirt. Our raised bed had been dubbed the lasagna or spaghetti plot before my participation in the farm. I believe the reason is evident when you view the bed from a bird's eye view. It scatters across in a noodling way. I would opt for calling it a rhizome or a ginger plot myself, but at this point, spaghetti plot, it's just too catchy. This plot has the highest initial promise because the soil imported from the previous team was well balanced and fertile. It's also notable for being accessible for people who have difficulty hinging at the hip or squatting while working. Wooden walls are the common form for garden beds. This structure has a hybrid of materials. In this context of the spaghetti plot, cement and caliche, which is a calcium carbonate mineral deposit, were mixed and assembled by a small crew. The beauty of garden beds is the variety of materials one can use. The cage plot is a collection of individual soil bags, aligned in rows but easily modified to any space. This is essentially for crops one might grow along a windowsill. Basil, mint, parsley, and other small herbs get their own soil bag from which to sprout. This is a perfect method for everyone to integrate inside their abode, no matter the space limitations. But the bags have a shallow depth, and therefore are not applicable for large rooting crops. The soil in each bag has a nutrient-dense blend to make it self-contained without the need for any additional input. The watering schedule is regulated by a timing device. Once the automated program begins, it sends water through a series of pipes, eventually reaching small holes that drip water into the soil. Some of our tables are disfigured, but still useful tables. Other tables had a former life as a wooden pallet. I enjoy finding any alternative use for many items who are destined to be bored landfill occupants. Tall garden containers are one of the best options for limited space. There could be 1 to dozens of them scattered or bunched around each other. For my farm, I call this the Q plot, because the arrangement reminds me of the video game Q*bert. Our containers are modified trash and recycle bins from the city of Phoenix. They are great for creating compost for a few reasons. The size allows a low surface to volume ratio to maintain a decomposing temperature. The lids deter animals and reduce evaporation. The holes drilled on the sides presumably allow some airflow to promote aerobic respiration. And the height can be fitted to one's needs. Moreover, because the containers are distinct from each other, they can be customized for specific crops. This arrangement is appropriate for numerous people to participate in a garden. For example, A family or individual can have their own raised container. They choose the plants they want, and the small size of the containers allows beginners to focus on the quality instead of the quantity. We plan to leave enough space for a so-called chicken tractor to move easily through the aisles. I'm choosing to make a mounded compost bed in this plot due to its long, rectangular shape. This may be the preferred method for homes with extended lengths of property with a narrow width. Our farm receives excess from grocery stores, so we have a cycle of constant food which can be converted to compost. Creating mounded beds is a simple method that has the advantage of an easy start. No infrastructure is truly required to begin laying down food scraps and chicken bedding on the ground. The only material I'm testing on this plot is a long carpet of fabric. I want to reduce moisture evaporation and any unwanted wild plants from setting roots, but because of this simplicity, there could be problems with protecting the mound from physical damage. Rats, opossums, raccoons, dogs, humans, pigs, and other curious types could all get into the mound and compress or spread the mixture out. Also, I'm comfortable working low to the ground, but unless one has a stable squat position, mounded beds can be very difficult for those with physical drawbacks. A large expansive area is necessary when creating a pasture plot. This is where the four-legged animals reside, roaming the terrain for food and activity. It is a joy and a curse to have other creatures around with their own personalities. Most of the GIP Farm's animals are intended for Montessori-style demonstrations with children. My chickens provide a food source with their eggs, and I haven't decided on their use as a meat broth when they become older, but meat is a possibility with animals. To initiate a pasture, there needs to be plenty of land, which closes this option off for only a select few areas. Not only that, our farm is situated in a low desert climate zone, which means the land is dry and not naturally conditioned for lush foliage or dense animal populations. Of course, these are not the only farming methods one can employ, and the context in which one lives will greatly impact the methods chosen. I imagine with these methods, they will wade through their own evolution as the seasons accumulate and time passes on.